Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome back. It's Mia, and today we are discussing my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023. I've been so excited to share this one with you guys, so let's just dive right into our number 10 spot. And there are a lot of movies that could have made this list, so to be on the list and at all should just be an honor. So let's start with number 10. My pick for 2023 is the Barbie movie from Greta Gerwig, and I think it could be higher, it could be lower, but I don't know what to expect from this movie. I was like, before the trailer came out or the little teaser, I was like, okay, is this just going to be for kids? Or are they going to try to make this more adult? I mean, you got Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Simu Liu, Will Ferrell. And so it's not like they could have gone with a younger demographic. I mean, these guys are... they're not your Gen Z rock stars, right? So I'm like, it looks like they're marketing this more towards adults. And so now it's either going to be a really cool hit or it's just going to be so far out there that you're like, what am I watching? Fingers crossed though, I think this and both Oppenheimer are opening out on the same week. So I think it's going to be a good week for cinema, July 21st, 2023. And I mean, Barbie is classic. You can't go wrong with Margot Robbie. Can't go wrong with Ryan Gosling as Ken. So I hope it's going to be a fantastic movie. And really, I just don't know what to expect. So we shall see. Coming in at number 9, most anticipated movie of 2023 is the Flash movie. I mean, I think and we've got 2 Warner Brothers movies on the list. I think this is an interesting movie just because it is shrouded in just so much chaos. I mean, number 1, the biggest thing here is Ezra Miller. They have just been a bottle rocket of chaos in and of itself. And so I'm interested to see really just the whole thing surrounding this. How is press gonna go? I think Ezra Miller went ahead with their kind of like I'm sorry apology that they published in one of the trade publications. So I think they gave them the okay to say, maybe you can promote this film, just don't say a lot or just don't be out a lot, or it will be very controlled. But I mean, the film overall sounded like an interesting premise, right? The Flash, Barry going and seeing different Batmans and stuff, like Michael Keaton Batman. I think that's the main draw here. Let's be honest, we want to see Michael Keaton Batman again, and it almost seemed like it could be or might be DC's answer to the multiverse saga and what Marvel has going on. But unfortunately, it's going to be the chopping block for kind of the Snyderverse as we know it. So it's going to be the end of an era, and so it will just, I don't know, be kind of interesting to see how they go out. Now, I will say, I will put a / Aquaman 2. I'm not as excited for that movie after rewatching the first Aquaman and seeing how bad it was, but I have some general optimism about that. So I'll put like with a little asterisk there, Aquaman 2 is kind of like tied at number 9. Up next in the number 8 spot, I have the Super Mario Brothers movie. And this one definitely, when we're talking about kids property, leaning more towards being a kids property, that's what the Super Mario Brothers movie looks like it's going to be like. So, I mean, it's from Illumination. I mean, when they came out with Despicable Me, that was a great movie back then. That really changed the game there. So I've got high hopes. I liked The Grinch when they came out with that. I like Illumination. So they typically do a really good job with their movies. And I mean, the bar is set extremely low from the original Super Mario Brothers movie, even though that holds a really strong place in my heart. But I think this will be kind of the adaptation for Mario that we're looking for. And I mean, the cast too, Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key. It's an interesting mix here, so let's see what they bring to the table. At number 7, my 7th most anticipated movie of 2023 is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Now, this is the one DC movie from, if you want to say, the DCEU era that I actually did really enjoy, unless I watch it again and I don't like it. We'll have to see, but I did enjoy it. I believe I saw it twice, and Shazam was just a fun, heart-filled kind of superhero movie. Zachary Levi was great in this as kind of the adult Billy Batson as Shazam. Kind of like he is an adult, but he has to act like a kid because he is a kid. And they had a great villain in the first movie, so I wonder how this is going to turn out now, because you have Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, right, in the kind of villainous roles. Yeah, so that will be interesting. Helen Mirren. That's an interesting choice. She's been making some interesting choices, but I like it. So I don't know what to expect from this either. It could be really good. It could be pretty mid. I don't think it's going to be bad. So we'll see. I'm knocking on wood all over the place here because I'm looking forward to these movies a lot. And, well, we'll see. And we don't have to wait long because that comes out on March 17th. And luckily, all these movies have dates. Barbie comes out July 21st. The Flash comes out June 16th. Super Mario comes out April 7th. And the next movie that is on our list at number 6 comes out July 28th. That is The Marvels. Now, I really don't know how to feel about this movie. I think I do feel pretty good about this movie. I liked Captain Marvel when it came out. I don't think it was the best MCU movie, but I did like it when it came out, and we're combining 2 of her other pals now. We've got Monica Rambeau, who got superpowers in WandaVision. You know, they just kind of hand out superpowers these days in the MCU, and so she actually doesn't have a hero name yet, so maybe she will be Photon. Who knows what name she's going to decide to take up. And then we also have Miss Marvel, and so we had that in scene at the end of Miss Marvel and her series where she swaps places with Captain Marvel, and we don't really know what's up with that. So there's a lot of mystery there tied up with the fact that Monica Rambeau herself got called to talk to Nick Fury at the end of WandaVision. So there's a lot going on here. We're going to see how it all intermingles and intertwines. And it's going to be directed by the Candyman director, Nia DaCosta. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she brings to the table. Whew! All right, trying to keep my energy here because I just filmed the top 10 TV series. Coming at number 5, my most anticipated movie of 2023 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I mean, Into the Spider-Verse was just such a great film. Like, when I saw that, I was like, this film is going to win the Best Picture Oscar for animation. I was like, whatever Disney is putting out this year, Incredibles 2, whatever else, they can put that to bed because this movie is going to win the Oscar. It's finally going to kick Disney off of their game. And so it did win the Oscar. It was such a great story. Thinking about Miles Morales, you've got family, you've got the cool different spider people mixed into this. And so this one, I mean, based on the trailer, it looks like the episodes where Rick and Morty go to the Citadel, and you've got all those other Ricks and Morty. So I'm hoping there's more to it than just, hey, look at how many Spider-Men there are. But I do have faith that if they pulled it off, or if they pulled off a good story in the first movie, they can do it again in the second movie. And I'm happy Spider-Gwen is back. They said Nick Cage is not coming back as Spider-Man Noir. Big sad, but hey, I'm looking forward to some of the other ones, like the Oscar Isaac Spider-Man. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping trailer 2 is going to reveal a little bit more about what's going on, and I'm hoping that one will be really good. And just the animation overall, I think that's a huge plus for this movie too. That gives it like 100 points just off the bat. And that movie is coming out June 2nd. A good birthday month movie for me. Now, speaking of Marvel movies, let's go back to the MCU because that was the Sonyverse. On May 5th, at my number 4 spot, what I'm looking forward to is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I talked about in my Rating Marvel's Phase 4 how much I kind of have grown to love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't super duper vibe with them at first, but now they've just kind of been so pushed in my face that I have come to like them. This misfit band of heroes, and we've had a lingering mystery about what's going on with Gamora. What are they going to do with Gamora since Endgame? That was a long time ago, so now finally in 2023, we're going to pick that mystery back up. I mean, even though we've seen the Guardians in a couple of different iterations since then, but now we're finally getting answers about Gamora. They don't know that Gamora was actually an Avatar Way of the Water. She just switched planets. She went to Pandora. She called herself Neytiri, changed her color from green to blue. That's where she's been hiding, didn't they know? But this also looks like the final hurrah for the Guardians. We'll see how much that holds true, but it looks kind of sad. It looks like James Gunn might be ready to bring the Waterworks on, so we'll see. May 5th. Now we are on to our top 3 movies, and I'm almost surprised myself that I put this as number 3 here, but coming out on May 26th from Disney Studios is the live-action version of The Little Mermaid. And I mean, hey, listen, I'm a 90s kid. The original movie holds such a strong place in my heart. And I mean, honestly, I'm a Disney fan. I love Disney princesses, so it's kind of a given that this would be really, really high on my list. Right now, I've got my phone and I've got a Minnie Mouse case on my phone. I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. Ariel is a playable character there. I can't count how many times I've been on a Little Mermaid ride but at both Disney parks. And so supreme Disney adult here, so I'm really, really looking forward to this. And I mean, Halle Bailey, what an awesome choice. She has a wonderful voice, and I just saw her on the New Year's Eve special that they had. She was doing some singing there, and I think it was surprising but wonderful casting. I wouldn't have ever thought in a million years that they would cast her. So yeah, these live action Disney movies have been kind of like hit or miss. Like, my favorite is still Aladdin. I just watched that this year again. Or you could have something that's pretty low tier, like the Mulan movie. I think that was a pretty weak adaptation. So I'm hoping, you know, they're going to keep the songs. I hope they keep the spirit alive. I'm hoping that this will be a good live action adaptation. Coming in at number 2, my most anticipated movie of 2023, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, coming out February 17th. Now, I apologize, I didn't do the trailer for that just came out this week, the next trailer, and I watched it. I was like, I could do a reaction, I could do a commentary, but I really don't have much else to add, so I'll add it here. I think I am just really super excited to see Jonathan Majors as Kang. I like how they used his kind of face cover, helmet, whatever you want to call it, mask to make him blue. So it's not like he's really blue. They're just kind of like, hey, you remember when he was blue? But he's not going to be blue here. He's a black guy. But I mean, with that, Paul Rudd, you can't go wrong with Paul Rudd. He's just been an amazing addition to the MCU. Kind of like, to me, underrated just because it's Ant-Man. But I think as more time goes on, this is the 3rd movie now, we've got a greater appreciation for Ant-Man. And I mean, the whole thing leading into Kang Dynasty, right? What the heck is going on with Kang? What is he up to? What's he plotting? What's he scheming? And as I talked about in my top 10 TV show reviews, right? We've got the whole He Who Remains character as one of the Kang variants. We know that something is going on, and we haven't really had anything resolved since Loki season 1 back in 2021. That was back in 2021. So we've taken 2 years off. Finally, we're gonna hopefully see some tie-in into that storyline. And then we'll see how Quantumania could possibly tie into Loki season 2 and ultimately, like I said, Kang Dynasty, the Avengers movie. So that will be coming out February 17th next month. It is right around the corner, so I hope it is going to be exciting. And now, my number 1 most anticipated movie of the year. Somehow Warner Brothers likes taking these number 1 spots here, and I'm quite surprised that I put this as my number 1, but I am most looking forward to Dune Part 2. Now, I know that Dune has a long history in the sci-fi community. As far as geeks go, walking around carrying that thick book. What kind of nerds are you guys? But I became a Dune nerd as well. Now, I read a little bit of the book just before Dune Part 1 came out, and I was kind of into it. It was kind of weird, it was kind of wacky, but what really drew me in was the first movie from Denis Villeneuve, however you say that guy's name. I was like, I don't know how well this movie will go because it didn't look, well, I mean, number 1, you're going off of the, thinking about the original Dune movie. It maybe you want to call it a cult classic, but in comparison to Star Wars, the legacy is not really there, right? So Warner Brothers and Denis, they had a really big task to kind of take this really big sci-fi book that is beloved by this, age-old fandom and try to do it justice, but also try to bring it up to speed with the 21st century and the 2020s. So I think they really did a great job. And I hate that I watched this at home. I think this was during that era where it was kind of like you can watch it at home or you can watch it in a theater. So I watched it at home. Luckily, there was a 4K TV. Luckily, there was surround sound. But I was like, I need to see the next movie on the big screen. James Cameron will love to hear this. I want to see it in the big screen. I want to see, I want to hear everything. It was just like, I'd never talk about sound mixing. I never talk about sound, but this was the first movie where I was like, they got a lot. There's some good sound going on here. I don't know a lot about sound, but that's some good sound if I do say so myself. And then just the story, kind of this wonder child that Timothy Chalamet plays as Paul Atreides. I mean, Oscar Isaac was in that as his father. Rebecca Ferguson was his mother. And so it was a great cast. Jason Momoa was in it as well. Stellan Skarsgård. And it is, I don't know if I would say it's like Star Wars. I mean, it is just kind of your average, in general, an average kind of fight for the throne, fight for territory sort of story. But I do like the way that the story is going, and the fact that we really didn't get any of Zendaya's character, Chani, up until the very end. So they left off on a great cliffhanger. It almost felt like a TV series where it's like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next in this series? And it almost kind of reminded me of Harry Potter in the sense, or Paul's character kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, just kind of in the fact that he is the chosen one. So, I mean, they've got a great cast coming up for part 2. I mean, Austin Butler, if he can stop sounding like Elvis, hopefully he'll wing that role or nail it. Florence Pugh, Christopher Walken. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a great hootenanny of a time. And I mean, listen, let's bring on the sandworms here. I'm ready. November 3rd is when it's coming out, and I hope that date doesn't change. I hope it comes out this year, November 3rd. So that is it, guys. Those are my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023. I'm glad I finally got this off of my chest. I finally revealed all this to you. I am winded. I am tired. I just spent a whole hour reviewing all of what I'm looking forward to 2023, but it gives me optimism for a great year as far as movies and TVs. And I am so excited from TVs and movies to be reviewing all of this with you guys. I think it's going to be a spectacular year. We're going to make it a good one. We're going to go out there. We're going to give it our all. We're going to hope that it is kind, that it is easy to us, that we fight for our goals, we fight for ourselves, and, you know, we fight for this planet. So that was your daily inspo. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you are most looking forward to in 2023 in movies, your top 10, your top 5, 3, 2, 1, and subscribe for more. Like if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Never know how to end these things.